going back quite a period of time in a death penalty case in Alabama on behalf of someone named Aaron Jones, who had been on death row since 1979. I worked very closely with what was at the time the Alabama Capital Resources Center, and then that turned into the Equal Justice Initiative. So we worked with Brian Stevenson many years ago and his wonderful colleagues on representing our client in his post-conviction death penalty appeals. And that work went on for, my involvement in it went on for about 12 years. Our client, Aaron Jones, was executed in Alabama in 2007. Very fulfilling work, but also very difficult. In 2015, White and Case began representing a man named Mark Shand, who had spent 27 years in prison for a murder that he did not commit. And we represented him in his civil rights trial against the city of Springfield, Massachusetts, where he was convicted, and the police officers who were involved. So this was a lawsuit that sought to compensate Mr. Shand for those years, if any such a thing is even possible. And at the end of that 9-day trial, the jury came back after about an hour and a half of deliberation with a verdict in Mr. Shand's favor for $27.127 million. We think this is one of the largest verdicts that was ever achieved in a wrongful conviction case that went to trial. I think that the work for Mark Shand has had impact on a number of levels. The first is it's had immediate impact on Mr. Shand and his family. His 3 sons and his wonderful wife, Maya, stood behind him throughout his entire incarceration and will eventually collect on this judgment. It could never be complete. Money doesn't compensate for something like this, but it will at least allow him to live a life that he should have been able to lead many, many years ago. But for him, it was bigger than the money. He always said that it was 11 people on the jury who stood up and said, and I think as direct a way as possible, this isn't right. And we're going to award you in an amount that tells the world that this isn't right. And that was, he was immediately gratified, and it helped him, I think, in a way that we can't even really imagine. The work has been rewarding on multiple fronts. On a professional level, if you're a lawyer who likes a challenge, litigating a death penalty case on behalf of a person who is convicted of murder in the state of Alabama is about as challenging as it gets. Worked with witnesses, worked with family members, engaged in all kinds of brief writing, and just developed as a lawyer. So the professional reward of that, to me, really can't be overstated. And I suppose that bleeds into the personal reward of being able to take on a hard challenge. I have always been attracted to problems that I thought stemmed from or were grounded in unfairness. And in both of the significant racial justice pro bono engagements that I've worked on over the course of my career, both of those situations were tremendously unfair. I suppose you could be indifferent to it, or you can choose, as I did, and as our firm did, to try to rectify an individual situation. And that, to me, was just a incredibly personally fulfilling outcome, and is the reason why I still support and want to continue doing this type of work.